welcome back to the channel. So, I wanted to pick up where I left off as far as playing back the tracks on my Die Some record, just because it's helping me sort of think ahead to my next record. And on songwriting news, I do have the beginnings of, I think, of a new song that's going to really fit perfectly on this record. It kind of sounds like a follow-up to We Know Them, the song that I recorded a couple tunes back. And right now I have the music together, at least a big bulk of it, but I'm trying not to get stuck on anything melodically, because everything I'm coming up with so far is not the home run that I want it to be. Typically I like to have a song all come together really quickly all at once, boom, done. My favorite songs I ever wrote were like that. But We Know Them was like a slow build song. It's like I came up with the riff, then like a little bit something else, then I got the beginnings, then I had a chorus but no verse. This time I have kind of the beginnings of a verse but no chorus, and you gotta have at least I've gotta have a powerful chorus. But I think I might be having a new song to bring in here soon, which would be awesome, because like I said, I want to finish that record this year, hopefully before probably this year. I was gonna say the summer, but we're already deep into July. There's no way I'm going to rip through 5 tunes before the summer's over. So I'm shooting for 2022 to have it completed. Alright, so going in here to the video I made, I peeked inside the file that I have on my desktop. And so I'll just play it back and narrate it here. I called this song SHT009 because in the chorus I say shout it. But it's called Everybody's Sold. Alright, so there's the bass drum, got 2 of those. I got a guitar intro, lead guitar, left main guitar, left overhead new, several masters. You can see me struggling to get a good master. Then there's all the takes. There's 20 takes that I recorded total. There's the bass drum, left overhead, right overhead snare, right lead guitar. I don't usually write lead guitar. Right main guitar, right overhead snare new. Wow, there's just tons of stuff here. Wow. Okay, so that's the innards of the track. Now let's just take a look at what happens on the Zoom. So I have per usual all of the tracks on the 3 banks. So I'm going to isolate the drums first. And I was playing this back earlier and I was like, man, my drums sound so much better now than they did on this track. This is like maybe the 2nd or 3rd song I recorded. I think this is the 3rd song I recorded for this record. Probably recorded it in 2017-ish. Maybe, no, 2018, 19, I can't remember. But my drums have come a long way, and you'll see in a second. So let's just start with the snare. And you'll see that my drums now are just more robust, and this one has like a funky kind of almost out of phase on the snare. It gets better as you bring in all the drums. Here is the snare. It has kind of a spacey sound, like mic placement wasn't quite right. Like there's a little more noise than necessary. And here comes the other snare. Sounds rubbery. Okay, left overhead, right overhead, bass. Okay, before I introduce the guitars, I want to bring all of that stuff in, because the guitar is really my favorite part of this tune. And the original, the idea of the song many years ago, this is like back in the 90s, probably 1993, 4, something like that. We were living in Atlanta in our monkey's house, the whole band was. And John brought home, our drummer brought home the Teenage Fan Club record, Catholic Discipline, I think it was called, yeah. And that song, the opening track was a song called Everything Flows. And it opened with this really cool kind of unison bend guitar riff that I immediately attributed to like a Neil Young thing, which excited me to hear like a Neil Young band in the 90s sort of copying Neil Young, which is what I was trying to do. still am pretty much. But I thought it was really awesome, and I think that song is like a perfect song. It's in my top 10 of like greatest songs of all time. I highly recommend checking out them performing that at the Reading Festival back in 91, 92-ish. That was an amazing year for that festival, and man, they just killed it. Drummer's awesome in that band. So I kind of wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to have it open, my song open with like a unison bend like that. It just felt like it would be orally exciting, sonically exciting, and so that's what I tried to do basically. And I later went back and listened to the song thinking that I'd really copied it. It doesn't really sound much like it, but the inspiration was what, hearing that. So let me find the guitars real quick. I'll add in the bass next, then I'll find those guitars because I don't want to reveal them until you hear how they sound right from the beginning, because I think it is like the best part of the song. It's like the drum. We'll find the bass first. So there's a lot of little tricks on this tune, and I felt like it needed a lot of help at the time. I remember thinking that it just needed something to make it pop, And the other thing is that I had this kind of extended guitar droning jam at the end, and that was another Neil Young kind of influence, like a Down by the River kind of outro jam out. Okay, so I'm going to just take it back and then turn everything on just so you can hear the guitars, because I think it's important to hear how the whole thing comes together. And then the other little thing that I did in the recording was I hit the back of my Les Paul headstock, so that's that noise you hear in the beginning. I guess it's like an E maybe, but it's the whole guitar. It's like brrr. I just wanted some kind of like earthquake at the beginning, like a Dynamite death chair moment, and then have the song kind of emerge from the ashes with that unison bend. You'll see what I mean. All right, here we go. This one is better to play the guitars so you get the feel. Let me just pull those guitars out so you can hear what's going on. Sorry, I keep sniffing. Okay, here we are. Here we go. Here we go. Les Paul sounds amazing. Okay, so there's the Les Paul Custom. That's just playing the da-da-da-da. Okay, so it's like a 6/9 chord. So it's like, and I stole this chord from, what's his name? Andy Summers from The Police. That's the main chords. Then I do hear this harmonic thing. Okay, so and the little intro is like. Okay, so that was the idea. Bunch of stolen influences mixed in to try to make something sound interesting. That's kind of the idea. So here's the rhythm guitar, and then I'll let you hear the little unison bend isolated, and then I'll just try to bring the whole thing together. Maybe do the vocals next. Okay, so that's the rhythm part. This is the little bend part added in. Okay, let me just hear that for a second. Here's the guitar. The Les Paul sounds so right for this tune. It's like, it was the only real great guitar I had at the time to record with, and I'm sure I'm glad it was that guitar, well, except for my Schecter. There's just something about it, it just sounds so right for that tune. Alright, so now I'm just going to bring the whole tune alive, and I'll just start playing it back. I've got it in mastering mode, with all the settings as if I was going to lay down a master, which I think makes the playback so much better. I always play back in that mode. If I'm not playing a finished master, you know, if I'm just trying to play tracks back for someone or experimenting with a mix, that's the way I like to do it. In mastering mode. This sounds way better. Okay, here we go. The little intro is hitting the back of the neck, and then you'll hear the ah. Listen to the vocal isolated. I can't remember what I did there. I don't think I did any double tracking, and I don't think there's a harmony. It's just one vocal all the way through, I think. I know I do a low harmony. Shout it, shout it. And maybe I double tracked the chorus, but I don't think so.
Everybody's heard about it, but we're dying slow, so no one really gives a damn to shout it. You got to shout it, shout it. Come on, shout it. You got to shout it, shout it.
Okay, there's the low harmony. That's the only harmony, I think.
So no one really gives a damn to shout it. You got to shout it, shout it. Come on, shout it. You got to shout it, shout it. Come on, shout it. Come on, shout it, shout it.
Okay, I'm gonna just take it back to the beginning. I think I've got it roughed in just so you can hear what the whole thing sounds like. Hopefully it's not too boring. It's kind of long. I get... This right here is the ethereal angel voices. So this next thing I like to do to create sort of like a ethereal kind of angelic ambience, mainly robbed from Cheap Trick, David Bowie, T-Rex, people like that. So I did 3 of these ooh ahs things. You'll hear. Okay, let's hear it again. That's interesting. was the other thing that was important, was to have a hard stop. Like have it just come to a stop all of a sudden, like you're jamming and all of a sudden, boom, quits. So I'm pretty happy with that. That was my second track on the record, and I think maybe the third song that I recorded for this album. Yeah, it's mildly, you know, has sort of a kind of like potentially political message, but it's more of a populist type thing, you know. I think the realization that people are for sale is a tough one, you know, like when you realize that that's kind of how things are sometimes. So I wanted to have a song that sort of represented that that sentiment. All right, next time.